Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Soy Martín Alvear y les doy una vez más la bienvenida a Fútbol Estilo Libre. El día de hoy tenemos la segunda parte de la entrevista a Andrew Henderson. Así que si aún no ven la primera parte, por algún lugar de la pantalla seguro está el link para que vayan a chequear. Mucha gente me reclamó que durante la primera parte no le ponía atención a Andrew porque estaba en el teléfono mientras él respondía. Pero déjeme justificarme porque el motivo de que haya hecho eso es que no preparé la entrevista y ese rato se me ocurrían las preguntas para hacerle. De igual manera, cuando él respondía algo interesante se me ocurrían cosas nuevas que preguntarles para darles a ustedes un mejor video. Así que esa es mi justificación, espero que sea suficiente para ustedes. Vayan a ver la primera parte, no se la pierdan. Y cuando acaben de eso, vengan a la segunda parte y díganme qué piensan de esta increíble mente maestra del freestyle fútbol. Cuéntenme.
From this question, I got another one actually. What do you think of biting or taking one trick that's gonna work for your style from other guy? Because you can say, well, you don't have to copy, but sometimes you really feel that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? When it's correct?
Do you know what, like, for me, I like to experiment with other tricks, and sometimes I see a trick someone does and I'm like, oh, that's nice, and then I'll do it in training, and I'll try it in training just to feel what it's like to do that trick. But when I'm in a battle, I don't really do it because I don't want to, like, represent, I don't know, I don't want to do something that is not me. So even if I like that trick, it's like they created that, it's their thing, so I let them have it, you know. Even if I really want to do it or I really like it, you know, it's like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna find my own way. And it's cool, like, I think it's okay to do a couple of tricks, but not, like, especially not the signature moves of people. Yeah. Like, if someone's doing like moves. Yeah, like Gautier in that weird position, if someone's doing that trick, it's just not right. And but I also feel the same when I see someone do like a normal J stall or a backflip, normal backflip catch. Like, really, I can do a normal J stall, I can do a normal backflip catch, but for me, I don't do them in a battle. Even if my opponent does it, I'm not gonna do it just because I don't feel that I don't feel like it's me. I don't feel it's real. Like, I feel like I'm just doing that because everyone else is doing it, you know, and it's like impressive. It's like, oh, I want to be cool, you know. Freestyle's bigger and better than that, you know. I think, like, we're all unique, like, we're all so different. So yeah, I just want to do my own thing. So if people want to bite, I think that's their own choice. But yeah.
Okay, great. I don't know if I can put this right, if you can understand this question, but if you can change something from when you start freestyling, like, for example, in my opinion, if I start freestyle again, I would love to train my weak foot more.
Yeah.
What would you change if you can
if I could
go back in time?
It's a good question. I don't know. Maybe I would, because the thing is, I think, like, you could go back and do that now. Do you know what I mean? If you really invested the time and hours in and you really wanted to, you could go back now and do that. Yeah, maybe it'd be harder work, but I still think you can do that. It's just a bit of a mind shift and alteration that's out of your comfort zone, and you'll have sessions where you know you're not going to do your best tricks and you're not going to feel happy when you do them, and you do that. I don't know, it's a hard one, really. I guess it would be probably, I would start doing, maybe I'd find a different way to start, you know, instead of just juggling the ball with my feet. Maybe I would start with, like, have a different base, you know, maybe with the heel or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, that's a good question though. I'll think about that and I'll let you know. Yeah.
What would be your advice to people who are starting with freestyle and they start realizing this could be their way of living?
My advice is good luck, and if you want to do it, and if you want to be the best, don't be afraid to dream big and go for it 100%. There's no other way. If you put all your effort into it every day, all day, and you want it so badly, then I don't think anything can stop you. If you really believe in it, you know, there'll be blocks in your way, there'll be things that stop you a little bit, but they're just hurdles that you have to go over, and it's not easy, but you can do it if you want to do it. Anyone can do it if they want to do it. Like freestyle, there's not just one way to win. It's not a 100-meter sprint where there's like only a certain amount of people can be the best at that. You know, only specific people that work really hard, but with their body type and everything can be the best at that, because there's only one way to win. You're faster than the other. In freestyle, there's there's infinite ways to win. So and be successful in our sport. And it's not always about winning as well. You know, it's about just doing your own thing, creating your own style, because now there's the whole social media thing. So my advice is, when you start, don't think about trying to make a living from it and being famous. If you do that, you'll skip the fundamental moves that will build you as a freestyler, and you'll just have the show moves like carousel or blocking or things like that, which are cool, but it will be very, very hard for you after that to go in and compete, because your sense of pride will be too high. So yeah, just go for it. Good luck, and yeah, I'll see you on the tour.
One last question. What makes someone a professional freestyler in tricks, mindset, professionality? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe someone being professional?
Yeah, I think it's how you carry yourself as a person. I think that's a very big part of it. It's not just about the skill set. Of course, you've got to have the skills, but you've also got to carry yourself as an athlete, or it can be in an artistic way. But you know, if you're competing in the sport, you should carry yourself as an athlete, as a role model. I think that's important. And yeah, I think just being a professional is earning a living from it, traveling and performing and showing your skills to the world. And I think competing is an important thing. You know, a lot of people that compete don't compete to the highest level. They don't earn a living from it, but maybe they are still kind of classed as professional because they're in the top 20 in the world. But maybe in another way they're not, because they're not earning a living from it. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I have another question. Sorry.
Okay.
What's the biggest mistake you think freestylers are doing to not improve, even if they're training?
That's a really interesting question, because it's fair. Like, I think everyone goes through this. The first 2 years or 3 years of their training, they didn't improve like they did after that. After that, a lot of the guys that really want it, they're improving like really fast, because they kind of it's almost like they find themselves in the sport. They find out about themselves, and then they know how to improve. But the first few years, they just sort of learn the basics. They're having fun, and you know, when you first start, it's impossible to believe that you could ever like, if you just learn around the world, it's impossible to believe that you can do a triple around the world. You know what I mean? Because you just don't know that you're like, am physically incapable of doing it. But it's knowing that there's a process for everything. You can build every move up in steps. So that's like, when people have this approach, when they say like, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that, I think that's something that blocks people from improving. So I think that's one thing that I would say straight away is, you can do whatever you want to do. Like, if you think that you're too heavy or too inflexible, or I don't know, whatever, not that way, but weren't born to do these moves, you can do them. You know, it's like, so many people say, oh, I'll never be able to do a backflip, or I can never do a handstand, I just don't work that way. But you build it up in steps, step by step, and then you can do it. Some people naturally can do it like better at the beginning, but they're not always the ones that are the best at it. Sometimes the hardest part is the start, and then you get really good at it after. So yeah, just step by step, and just, if you have an idea of what you want to do, just try and spend time to figure out the process to do it, and that's it.
Okay, people, this is Andrew Henderson, señor Henderson. Espero que les haya gustado la entrevista. I really want to thank you for your time here.
Pleasure.
Catalina and Camilo are blocking the light like several times. But I really want to thank you for this, man.
Thank you,
Nice
man.
to see you.
Pleasure.
Long time to see you.
Yeah, I didn't see him for 6 years, something like that, so good to catch up, man.
Chicos, no se olviden de comentar qué video quieren ver el próximo tutorial, pónganlo acá abajo y nos vemos duro. Así que entrenen duro contra el muro, que tienen buenos consejos de Andrew Henderson.
Esa fue la segunda parte de la entrevista y me pareció espectacular tener a Andrew respondiendo a las preguntas que creo que muchos teníamos sobre cómo ser un campeón mundial o ser un jugador de freestyle profesional. Me parece el tema interesantísimo, así que voy a comenzar a hacer vlogs de este tema, pero aplicados a jugadores de América Latina. Les cuento que voy a estar en la final mundial de Red Bull Freestyle en noviembre con los mejores jugadores del mundo, así que coméntenme aquí abajo a quién quieren que entreviste de ese mundial. Estuve este mes en Medellín, en Colombia, siendo juez del torneo nacional 2019 y estuve con Charlie y Boyka Ortiz, así que tengo entrevistas con ellos dos que pueden esperarlas para antes de finales de septiembre. Así que nada, coméntenme acá abajo qué tutorial quieren ver en el próximo video. Seguro van a ver muchos más vlogs de cómo ser profesional, cómo mejorar en competencias o cómo enfrentarse con un jugador que sabes que es mejor que tú. Así que esperen esto y entrenen duro contra el muro.